As we hear in the background the music for the 409, we have with us today Marco, who owns this beautiful 63 Chevy. Hi, I'm Jack Saraceno with LMC-TV, and this is my dear friend Marco. Marco built this car himself. He did all the paintwork. It's a magnificent example of a 63 Super Sport Chevy, and you just cannot imagine how beautiful it is until you see it in person. The paint is amazing. We have other fellas who are all paint aficionados who really admire Marco's work. Marco, tell us a little bit about your car.
Hey, good morning. My name is Marco. This is my 63 Impala. The paint is original candy apple red with a lot of ghost patterns, a lot of airbrush. Did it by myself. The car got only 20,000 original miles. I keep my original interior, never replace it. And as you know, I got a lowrider system on my trunk, hydraulics, wide wheels, and it's a really fun car to drive.
This is the 45th anniversary of the Mamaroneck Car Show, and one of the gentlemen who I've known since he was about 13 years old, who painted the Corvette for me when he was 13 years old, is my dear TV partner, Jimmy Levecki. Jimmy is one of the spearhead people that work with the Shift Manters Car Club. Although there's another gentleman who's the president, Jimmy's the guy behind the scenes pulling the chain. He gets everything done for that car club. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about the Mamaroneck Car Show, how you like it.
It's one of the best car shows in the area. We look forward to it every year. Thank goodness people made it this year to the show. I mean, Jack's been doing this forever. We try to promote this show through our club as much as we can, but it's just a fantastic show, fantastic cars, fantastic people. It's one of the best shows around. Can't beat it. Definitely can't beat it.
Thank you so much. And Jimmy's going to be judging the show for me. He's been doing it for the last couple of years. He does an amazing job. And his car club puts on about 4 or 5 shows over the summer that are all great. And every other Thursday night, he's got a cruise up at Westchester Burger in Rybrook, which is a great event. And it stays in the family because his daughter Gina is kind enough to help us handing out the trophies. So we want to thank Gina for her help with us in the show, and we really want to thank Jimmy for coming down here and helping us with the judging. I can't thank you enough, Jimmy. You're the best. Okay, thank you very, very much. The gentlemen sitting in this car were just teasing me because they told me that I'm not part of the Screen Actors Guild. These guys are real actors. They do lots of movies, and they do the cars for the movies. My friend Wayne and Jimmy, who we had dinner with last night, we had a fabulous time down at JoJo's in City Island. We were at the Lobster House. They're great car guys, and I can't thank Wayne enough for all he's done for us. When I had to do a St. Patrick's Day parade committee, we had to do a parade because one of the gentlemen that was on the football team was unable to march at the parade. They needed me to have all the football players be in cars. I made one phone call. I called my dear friend Wayne, and he provided me with 20 cars in the blink of an eye. I can't thank him enough. These are real car guys, real patriotic guys, and they're good people to be friends with. Amongst all these American classic cars that were built in the 50s and 60s and 70s, we have a few connoisseurs who are also car lovers who like the foreign breed. And this gentleman, who I'm very friendly with, who's helped me on many, many occasions at many, many car shows, has this little MG that he's going to tell you all about. Mark is a great guy, and he's a member of the Westchester Region AACA, and I think he was the previous treasurer. And he's the current treasurer, and he does a great job, and he's an excellent judge, and we want to thank him for coming out on this rainy day. Tell us about your car, Mark.
Okay, well, it's a 1978 MGB. It's entirely stock. Contrary to what would have performed better, it's all stock. I've had it for 10 years, and it was fun putting it back together. It was in decent shape, but it's in a much better shape now. And I'm an LBC guy, a little British car. I have a 1974 Triumph TR6 as well that one day I may actually get into this kind of shape. But right now it's a fun driver. MGBs were made from 1962 to 1980. And they pretty much remained effectively the same. They had 5 different engines, 2 or 3 different transmissions, and 1970, give or take, there was a change where from the chrome bumpers to the rubber bumpers to comply with American safety standards. Everything got thrown off and the car just was never the same. But it's still my little baby and I enjoy it. Thank you.
Any car show in Westchester would not be complete without having this gentleman who's standing next to me at the event. This man is a true car lover. Not only is he a car collector and a car enthusiast, but he's also a fabulous judge who does the concours at the Concours of Greenwich events. He knows cars like the back of his hand. And if you should ever have the opportunity to visit his place of business, it's like walking into a time capsule. You're going to walk back 100 years in time. He's going to tell you all about his family. He's going to tell you all about his cars, and he's going to tell you all about himself. He's just a wonderful guy. Nikki, I can't thank you enough for coming out today. Tell us all about it.
Well, what's there to tell? We have a shop in New Rochelle. It's called Ace Auto Repair, and we've been there since 1920. It was my grandfather's building, and he started one of the first auto repair shops in Westchester. And we had a Hudson dealership next door, we had an Amoco station on the other side, and it just is in my blood. So to restore cars is a lot of fun because I like them. And we've been doing it so long, it comes second nature. And coming today to the car show was just showing support because we do what we love.
I'd like to introduce to you a new member of the family of the Kiwanis Car Show event. This gentleman has just opened up a business located here in the border of Larchmont and Mamaroneck called VIP. Coincidentally, in discussing with him, we both worked for the same car dealership down in New Rochelle at one time about 15 or 20 years ago. But this is a true car guy. His name is Pete, and he's going to tell you all about VIP that do leasing, and they can help you with all your car needs. Pete, tell us a little bit about VIP.
Hey guys, how are you? My name is Peter Bassani. I'm the general manager of VIP Auto here in Mamaroneck. Jack, who actually we learned, again, we worked at a Chrysler Jeep dealership so many years ago. It was actually my first job in the automotive industry. It's going back 20 years. At VIP Auto, we basically provide a service to not only Mamaroneck, the community, but everyone else in the area. We sell and lease all makes and models, everything that's out there, new, pre-owned. We specialize in high-end exotics, hard-to-find cars. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of someone coming in and not knowing exactly what they want, having a price range per se, and not wanting to have to go with the back and forth of dealing with a salesman. We give people an honest price the first time, every time. And we want to help everyone just learn what's out there and what's available.
Pete's not out to just to sell your car. He's out to help you to buy one for the right price and the right car. He's very knowledgeable in the car business. So if you're thinking about buying a vehicle, come and see Pete down on Boston Post Road. He's more than happy to help you. Along with the cars that Pete is going to be able to get you and finance for you, another division of VIP is the automobile dealership that does the body work on these cars. And Matt over here is going to tell you a little bit about all the body work that they do at VIP for the repair shop that they have.
How you doing? We're VIP's auto body shop, and we do outside estimating and insurance claims. We can handle anything that you need, from older cars to new cars, restorations, anything you need. Come on down. We're on Waverly, Fenimore Road.
They're a great body shop. I've seen some of their work. I've been in the car business for 50 years, and I was very, very impressed with the work that I saw them do. So if you need anybody work, come over and see my friend Matt. He's located here in Mamaroneck, and he's more than happy to help you. As you just saw, the car that was just shown was the original car, well, an example of the original car that Burt Reynolds, who unfortunately passed away this week, rode in Smokey and the Bandit. This is the example of the Trans Am that he had in that movie. And I'm honored to have with me today John from Year One, who also works along with VIP. And John is a big car guy. I've known John for about 20 years now. Matter of fact, we were just teasing. I interviewed him about 15 years ago at Playland at another car show. And John's a real car guy, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his Year One works and his, relationship with VIP. John, tell us a little bit about this.
This is my all-original 1979 Trans Am 4-speed T-top car. It used to belong to David Lee Roth of Van Halen. I purchased it from him about 10 years ago, and I love it. I drive it regularly, and it never gives me any problems. And I do feel bad about Burt Reynolds passing, and it's a pretty dreary day here for a car show, but we're trying to make the best of it, and it is what it is. All right, thank you very much.
The car collector and the classic car business is a very crazy business. I'm a car nut, and the gentleman standing next to me, I go back with his father, who was a wholesaler a long, long time ago, because I've been in this business a long time. And his son has grown into the business, and Scott has a beautiful example that he'll explain to you. Scott Newman is a car wholesaler who buys and sells cars all day, but he's got this beautiful right-hand drive car that he's going to tell you all about right now.
This is a 1990 Nissan POW. It is a Japanese domestic. This car was only in Japan from 89, 90, and 91. They made 51,000 copies of it, and it's a 1.0 liter, one-barrel carburetor, 54 horsepower. It is an automatic with air conditioning, power steering, disc brakes. It drives like a little Nissan Sentra, but it is extremely unique, and this has over 25 years old. It could come into the country, so anything that's 25 years or older could be imported into the United States. I love this car. It's as unique as can be, and I'm on the Nissan POW fan club on Facebook, and there's about 3 of them in the state of New York so far, and probably about 60 or 65 in the whole country. Great car.
Thank you for bringing it out, Scott, and we really want to thank him for coming out to the car show today, okay? I want to introduce a very dear friend of mine. This gentleman, his family, has been coming to this car show for 45 years. Peter Lividini, who owns the beautiful Corvette that's behind me, his grandfather used to buy a Corvette every couple of years, bring it to Europe, drive it in Italy, and then ship it back. Unfortunately today, Peter's father was bringing one of the other cars here, and the gas pedal stuck, and he unfortunately got hurt. He smacked his head up against the windshield, cracked the windshield, did a little damage to the car. So our prayers and thoughts go out to the Lividini family, and hopefully he'll make a quick recovery. Pete, what do you want to say? Pete is one of the members who really helps put this show together. He comes to all the meetings, and he's a really devoted individual to the Kiwanis and to the Kiwanis Car Show. And we can't thank Pete enough.
We've been coming here for 45 years. It's always a great show. We make it a family thing. We now, kids, my son, my father, my grandfather, all the cars are here. It's just a fantastic thing. We love it.
We want to thank him. And he's got 3 cars here today. A 4th one, as I said, wouldn't be, I'm sorry, he has 4 cars here. He's got his Can-Am that he originally bought brand new. He's got the 65 Corvette, and he's got the 71 Corvette, along with the Jaguar that Daddy drives in the back. And he's got his brother's Mercedes. So they've only got about 5 cars here at the show. And again, we really want to thank them for coming out. What we have here is an example of a 50th anniversary Corvette. The shy owner of this car is going to come over, and I'm going to introduce you to him. And I want to give him a big shout out. This gentleman is a real car guy, and I have the honor and pleasure of knowing him for about 20 years now. Peter is just a wonderful individual, and I want you all to wish him a very happy birthday today. He's celebrating the anniversary of his 39th birthday, okay? So this 39-year-old man is driving around in his 50th anniversary Corvette, and all the women are chasing after him. Pete, tell us about the car.
I bought the car about a year ago. I always wanted a vet. Grew up loving vets. Found this car last year from third owner. Car's got 23,000 miles on it. It's 50th anniversary edition. And basically what you see, it's all stock. There's no mods to the car at all. Factory stock car. 22,000 miles on it. 50th anniversary. It's a great car. Always wanted a vet. Finally got my vet.
And this man owns, besides this car that we're going to show you right now, he's got a little car back home. He's going to tell you all about his Rolls Royce. He's a real car collector. And he's also a hairdresser as well. But tell us about the car you have here today.
Okay, this is a 1971 Triumph TR6. Really fast little car. It's got a straight six engine, and it's a good driving car. You know, so a lot of fun, British cars. But I also have a 1935 Rolls-Royce 2025. Big car limousine, mint condition. I was going to come in that today, but the weather, made me change my mind. Then I also have a 67 Rolls-Royce two-door coupe, which, I'm a British car lover. I've got several cars, and I always come to this show every year. Don't miss it. Come rain, come shine.
We're looking at a classic Dreams Cruises. This is a 1966 Oldsmobile that is so original, it's just amazing. Most classic cars have big, powerful V8 motors. This example of the Oldsmobile from 66 has a 6-cylinder with a manual 3-speed transmission on the column. At the last Oldsmobile event, this car was rated over 950 points out of 1,000. It's an amazing vehicle, and I'm going to introduce the gentleman who owns this car, and he's going to tell you a little bit about it. He also is doing a car show on September 23rd, and it's the Hudson Valley Oldsmobile Group, and he'll tell you all about his car show. Thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Bob Mangles. I am the owner of this F85 1966. Has 19,000 original miles on it. I've had the car now for a little bit better than 5 years. Jack is correct with the straight 6, 3-speed on the column, bench seat, and with a posi rear. With those things in the car, all original, a very minimal number were made. I come up with a number of 874 in the history and research that I've done with the car. Pleasure to drive. It's fun, and it's a great looking car. So I'm very happy that the car actually had found me. So that's the story about the 66.
When I think about the Mamaroneck Car Show, there's one man that I always remember that always comes to this car show and who I've grown to love very dearly. This gentleman still has his GTO from when he was in high school. He's got a collection of probably 20 or 30 cars. I don't think he knows how many he has. He's got a beautiful example of a 61 Chevy right here. His name is Anthony Tripico, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about his car. And he's just been a wonderful friend to me, and we've gone on some trips together, and he's just a great guy. Anthony, tell us about the car.
Thank you, Jack. Well, it's a 61 Impala, Chevrolet. It looks all stock and original. but it's got a few goodies, we call them, to give it a little more power, which I'll show you here.
Anthony's going to lift the hood and show you that he's got a little motor in here that's only 454 cubic inches.
Yeah, it's 454 cubic inch. Of course, it's not the original motor, but I like a little more power. And it's just a great car, a lot of fun to drive. And it always does very well at the car shows. Very happy with it. It's mostly original except for the motor, which anyway, Jack. Okay.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I really love this guy. He's the best. In a very male-dominated hobby, sport, whatever you want to call this, us collector cars, we have this lovely young lady who's got this Oldsmobile. Kimberly is a person who comes out to this car show. She comes out all by herself, and she enjoys all the cars like the rest of us guys do, and she's one of us, and she's a real car person, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her car. Thanks for coming out, Kimberly.
You're welcome. Hi, it's a 1968 Delmont 88. It's actually a rare car because only 2,800 were ever made, and only 612 were made with the 455 motor, and we actually know there's only 51 registered in the States today. So it makes it quite unique. And it's a great color.
And it's a great example of this car, and it brings you back in time. And we really want to thank Kimberly for coming out. And we want to thank everybody who's watching the show right now on this lousy day.
Beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day for the car people. And these are the true car people that came out here for us today. And we want to thank each and every one of them for coming out. Thank you very much. And again, I'm Jack Saraceno.